2, 1.
Hello, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are watching from in the world. Welcome to Hill Dickinson Stadium. As you can see, it's a glorious day here. The sun is out, ready for this historic day where we'll be learning Everton's fixtures for the new season, and of course we'll be learning the historic fixture of who we're going to play here for our first ever competitive game. So excited, and joining me to take it all in are two Everton title-winning players, FA Cup and title-winning players there. I'll give you that one there. Trophy-winning players, Ian Snowden and Graham Stewart as well. Thank you so much for joining me both.
Good morning.
What a day.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, now we're here, we know we're going to be learning the fixtures. It's kind of impossible not to start imagining all the seats full and how it's going to feel when we, you know, arrive here for our first Premier League game when it's a full house.
Do you know what? It was such an emotional day at Goodison Park against Southampton. But when you look around this place, wow, it softens the blow of leaving Goodison Park. It really does, because this stadium is iconic where it's sat on the Mersey. But you look around and you think, imagine 53,000 Everton, well, 50,000 Evertonians, because there'll be 3,000 away fans in here. But I can't wait for the first game. I can't wait for the atmosphere. It will be sensational.
Oh, it really is. And as you said, we had the emotion of saying goodbye to Goodison, and the amazing news is that Everton women will be making it their new home. So it will be different, but we can still go to Goodison. But this is groundbreaking stuff. It's absolutely stunning, and I just can't wait to find out the fixtures. But speaking of Goodison as well, Diamond, obviously we had some really iconic moments there for our final ever season. Thankfully we won on the last game there as well. But some massive moments, like James Tarkowski's goal in late in injury time in the derby was one to note. Were there any sort of memorable moments for you that come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've touched on it there. I mean, I think the most important thing, just going back to that last game that you both alluded to, I think going out in the correct way to leave the grand old lady on the back of a win was so important for us, and as a set of fans, and it's just the greatest tribute that we could have given to Goodison Park as a men's senior team. But the one moment that obviously is going to be etched on everybody's mind is Tarky's volley against Liverpool in the derby. You know, for us to go out having an equal record with Liverpool as well, kept that out of their way as well. That was good. But just it was the strike itself which was magnificent. I mean, take nothing away from Tarky. I mean, I think people sometimes, because of the situation and the timing of it all, they forget how technically fantastic that strike was. And the place just erupted, and that was Goodison at its best for me.
Oh, it was so fitting, as you said. Of course we'd have loved to have won the game, and I think for large spells we were on top, but you just don't want to lose it, do you? You just don't want to lose it. That would have been the thing. You don't want them to have the final say in a derby there. And of all people, Tarky, the strike itself, the scenes, it went to VAR, didn't it? And I thought, please no, please no. But that's an iconic strike, and obviously the final ever goal there, Illiman and Dyer, what a season he's had as well. He
has had a fantastic season. I mean, he was probably the brightest spark in terms of forward play for us. I mean, some of the things that boy can do is off the scale. I was doing the last game of the season actually at Newcastle, and he did something. And how he kept the ball, because he's got a low centre of gravity. He's really a strong boy. He can hold people off. He's got good pace, great skill. I think he's certainly, get a good pre-season under his belt, and he could absolutely shine for us next season.
Definitely. First season, at the club, and that's never easy, is it, Ian? But he was sensational, and you've heard the chants for him, the songs for him. The fans absolutely love Illiman and Dyer. How excited are you to watch him here as well?
Very much so, and one thing that you can get from him, he loves pleasing the fans. Yeah. But it's not only him going forward, Sarah, he tracks back as well. He works exceptionally hard off the ball and try and get the ball back. So he's a crowd favourite, there's no doubt about that. But I'm sure every one of our players in a royal blue shirt would love to be starting this first game here this coming season.
Absolutely, and of course, we did really well after David Moyes came in, and we'll talk more about that soon as well, because we had some fantastic wins on the road as well as at Goodison Park. But first, we're going to throw it to the latest update on the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah, that was about right. Amazing, so we can actually just look at them. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just about a minute and a half now until we'll learn Everton's fixtures for the season ahead. I've got to quickly ask you both, is there anyone that you fancy for the first game here?
Oh, that is a tough one. For me, Leeds United or Liverpool.
Oh,
First game.
yeah.
That'll do me. Leeds United or Liverpool at home.
You're braver than me. I think I'd like to settle in a little bit more before then.
Get this crowd behind us.
Yeah, too right. That's
First game.
It's a very good point. No doubt this place will be rocking. And Diamond, how about yourself? How do you fancy it going for the Toffees?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's like you say, it's that marry it up between, do you want to have a relatively straightforward start on paper anyway to give us a chance to settle into Hill Dickinson Stadium and get us on the front foot fixture-wise? Or do you go for the biggie straight away when you catch some of them cold as well? Some of the, you know, especially with this, you know, this pre-season where a lot of teams have been busy as well. So
there'll be tired legs in
tired legs. So it might be a good time to catch some of the big uns early.
Yeah, I like the confidence. That's what we want. And, you know, this place is no doubt going to be absolutely bouncing whoever we have. And we're about to learn Everton's fate for the season ahead. And it's live for us here. Let's have a
Live
quick look.
game.
Well, yeah. It's not at home, but Leeds United away
Wow.
is our first game of the season.
Wow, incredible.
Mystic Meg,
Monday night football.
Monday
So
night.
I'm guessing that'll be a live game, will it? You would imagine so.
assuming
You would
so.
imagine so.
That-
Yeah,
That's-
live game at Ellen Roadie and
Yes.
your old hunting
Yes,
ground.
that's right. It'll be good to go back there. Obviously, need the Blues to get off to a flying start, so nothing but a victory at Ellen Road. But they've just come up. The atmosphere there will be absolutely electric as well.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it will be tough. There's no question about it.
In terms of this stadium, we now know the first ever game competitively to be played at Hill Dickinson will be against Brighton and Hove Albion. What do you make of that one?
Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one that absolutely jumps out at you for obvious reasons, but Brighton have been a really, really solid side over the last few years in the Premier League, so that will not be an easy game of football. And I'm just looking down the next few. I mean, there's really no easy games in the Premier League these days, Snods, is there? No. So, you know, we go away to Wolves after that.
Yeah.
And then we're at home to Villa here as well. Again, another tough one. So our first 4 games are really, really, on paper they look okay.
Yeah.
But they're still tough games, and I'll throw you over.
Tell
to
me
the-
when
I was
the,
gonna-
tell me when the derby is.
I was
I'm telling
gonna
you,
say-
that's why I'm throwing over to you. There it is.
When
Look,
is it?
There
I
is.
can't no.
September the 20th, after the first 4
Away.
games.
Away, I
Away.
want Liverpool here, but the away is the 5th game.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I'll tell you when, of course, the one we all look to is the derby at home as well, and that'll be April the 18th. So we've got quite a while to wait until Liverpool visit Hill Dickinson. But those first 4 games, I mean, you know, as you said, some big clubs, and Brighton was our first home game of last season, and it didn't go too well. So we'd like to, you know, we beat them away last season, Illiman and Dye penalty, but at home it was a tough one for the opener. We just want to get this place. It'd be amazing to christen it with a win, wouldn't it, for the first competitive game?
We were talking in the car coming up, Sarah, and it's new. It's a new stadium for our boys.
Yeah.
They might take some settling in themselves, but if I was an opposition player walking out of that tunnel and seeing this stadium, it'd give me a lift as a player playing against them. So I think it's going to be tough the first few games here, but hopefully we can get the victory against Brighton. That'd be a great start.
Oh, it'd be amazing. But as you said, I'm sure there'll be a lot of, you know, teams looking for when they play Everton away to come and see this stadium, and they'll be right up for it, no doubt. Other ones of note, of course, the final home game of the season is against Sunderland, who've been promoted, and you know, Everton have historically got a nice bond with Sunderland over things like with Bradley Lowry, and you know, they have a fantastic fan base. They've been away from the top flight for too long, I'd say. So yeah, derby towards the end of the season at home, Sunderland final home game of the season, and our last game of the season will be Spurs on the road, of course, under new management. Champions League Spurs, they'll be in the Champions League next season as well. So those are the fixtures, and of course you'll be able to see them and go through them in more depth as well right now. But Illiman got the last goal at Goodison. Who do you think is going to score the first here?
Well, they'll be fighting for it. I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting if it's a penalty first.
I wouldn't want to
First
take that.
opportunity here at Hill Dickinson, because they'll all be fighting each other to take it, because it would be fantastic to be the first person to score a competitive Premier League goal here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. So, you know, in the end, I'm just looking at across the board, it looks a pretty decent spread out. You know, you look at the last three games before our last game, Sunderland at home, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Well, that's last 4. Sorry, Man United, Burnley, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. I suggest we get some business done early doors in the season at looking at that. But I'm sure we will. I'll touch on what Ian said as well. You know, it'll be a lift for away teams to come here as well, because this is a glorious stadium, and the pressures are going to be on us for obvious reasons. So vitally important that our players hit the ground running, and I'm sure David Moyes will bring the players down here at every opportunity pre-season, if possible, just to get used to the surroundings and the feel of the place.
Absolutely, and our fans are second to none. It's going to be, you know, we'll get right behind the team. I can't wait to hear this place in full voice, see every seat, you know, full. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I can't wait to celebrate the first goal here for Everton. But who will that be? Well, let's throw it back now to the top 5 or 5 of the best opening day goals for Everton.
Blackburn 2-man wall back. Great effort, fantastic effort from Mikel Arteta. He spotted that Paul Robinson was out of position and curled an absolute beauty into the goal. Well, what a strike and what a time to score. Paul Robinson trying to lift his players, but Paul Ince will not be happy about that. One man who is Mikel Arteta.
It's been a very open game and entertaining first 15 minutes. Now Johnson brings it down neatly. That's what he's all about. That's why they paid £8.5 million for him. That is why they think he will be able to join the likes of Dixie Dean, Graham Sharp, Bob Latchford in Goodison Park folklore. Everton won, Watford 0, and it's taken Johnson only quarter of an hour to mark his debut with a goal.
James Coleman. Fellaini to Coleman. On his left foot at the moment. Coleman continues his run. Still Coleman. Barkley. Oh, yes! What about that for the teenager? It was a sizzling strike. And the teenager will revel in that one for days to come.
Football that for Richarlison. Brilliantly done! What a fantastic finish! Well, that's why Everton paid the bucks. The Brazilian it's a Brazilian beauty.
Set plays have troubled United. From Gibson, Fellaini! Well, if there's anybody on this Goodison turf that deserves a goal tonight, Marouane Fellaini is the man. Just look what he means. The Premier League is off and running for Everton, and for Marouane Fellaini with a bullet of a header from a Darren Gibson corner. Shrugging off Michael Carrick as if he wasn't even there.
Sets the mood, that, seeing some goals, and I'm missing it already. I've got to say, I'm missing being at the stadium and celebrating. It's going to be different, but can't wait for it. And you know, for people that don't have season tickets and are desperate to be here at Hill Dickinson and be part of our season next season, we have, of course, got the Forever Blue membership and Forever Blue Plus as well. If you get that, that is, you know, you've got priority of being able to get your tickets secured for this iconic stadium. You also can watch 90 minutes back, the only place you can watch the full 90 minutes back of Everton games, and something you both know all about as well, you can stream the under-21s games as well, so it's well worth it for those that don't have season tickets.
It's well worth it, yeah. I mean, obviously the ideal scenario for everybody would be to have a season ticket, but that's not possible for obvious reasons, so this is the next best thing, Sarah, the opportunity to be part of Forever Blue and Forever Blue Plus. As you say, take priority, and you get the added bonus of replaying the games and seeing the 21s in action as well, which myself and Snods will cover throughout the season as well.
Absolutely. So you'll be getting to see more of these two and hear more of these two as well. What more could you want? But here's some more info about it for you now.
You don't choose this, it chooses you. It starts with a moment, one match, one song, one feeling, and suddenly you're part of it. Every mile travelled, every shirt worn thin, every hand held high. It all lives here. This isn't just our club, it's who we are. From L4 to LA, we carry the same heart, the same songs, the same soul. Rituals may change as we step into a new era, but one thing stays the same. We're Forever Blue, through and through.
Again, you're just getting right up for the season, seeing these things, and yeah, it can't come soon enough. But we've got pre-season, of course, to do first, and local games, really, relatively local games to start for fans here to get to. And obviously Accrington, which couldn't be much closer, and Blackburn, which we should be going to. Ian, are you looking forward to those?
Yeah, I am. I look forward to watching Everton every game. So, but Accrington's not the biggest, but I know our fans will fill whatever tickets we get for that game. But Blackburn, I'm sure we'll take about 8,000 to Blackburn. We played them a couple of times pre-season and always took a good following. So, yeah. They are pre-season games, we know about that, and then obviously we go out to America then. So busy time for the team.
Busy time, and then of course it's been announced about Roma as well. What a tie that is going to be here at Hill Dickinson. We can't wait for that. But as you mentioned, States. And going over to the States will be, of course, our very own Diamond. You've spent quite a lot of time over there as well. The fans over there, the Toffees over there, amazing. Because the times you get up with them, you've watched, was it Forest this season away?
I had the pleasure of watching the Forest game at 7 a.m. in the morning in San Diego for the Toffee Fest. It was an amazing, couple of days, to be honest with you, and very surreal to watch a game of football at 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. Obviously, Duke scores the winner, and then I think it was the 94th minute. The place absolutely erupted. I've never seen so many drunk people at 9 a.m. in the morning in my life, but it was incredible. Our fan base is growing all the time, so it's a really good opportunity for us to go over to the States. Obviously, game in New Jersey, game in Chicago, and the final game in Atlanta. So great opportunity to the fans that are good enough to come out and support us, and of course our ever bigger following of people out in the States.
Yeah, but you'll be getting your air miles in there, won't you?
Air miles in there. Well, I'll be overworked and underpaid yet again.
Same old story there, though. You'll have a great time, and as you said, like 7 a.m. watching the Blues, and there's no guarantees you're going to have a happy morning watching Everton. These fans get up. Anything can happen. You could be fuming, going back to bed at 8 o'clock thinking I'm knackered, I've watched them. But thankfully for that one, Dukes pops up and...
honestly, it was incredible. And, the enthusiasm of our American supporters is off the scale. It really is. So we're looking forward to that. And then back here for the last one, Sarah.
Absolutely. And, no doubt you'll be so excited to go and see all our American friends over there again, and fans coming from wherever they're travelling over to the States, and then back here, Hill Dickinson, to really whet the appetite for the season against Roma. Massive team. They'll bring, hopefully, a load of fans as well. We'll fill the place. Tickets are on sale now. That will feel like, that's the one before the season starts. You get more of an idea of, any signings that have come in, how the team's going to look is going to be closer than ever. How excited are you for that one?
I am, even though it's still a friendly.
Yeah.
I know they'll bring thousands themselves, Roma. They'll think it's a great opportunity to come over to England. The stadium will be full. Hopefully it'll not be played as a friendly, which I doubt it very much. And we'll see what the atmosphere is going to be like inside this new stadium.
Oh, I'm excited.
I am.
I really am. And the Italian fans as well always bring the noise.
Yeah.
And we like that. I've just got to say as well, when we did the last test event and the lads scored close to the time it was evacuated, you got a sense, because after the goal, the crowd, and you've got a sense of how the acoustics and stuff sound there, and that was with, 20,000? So the thought of this in full voice.
I was here for that second event, and I thought, well, it were quiet and it was just a test event, but you're right. They sang about 30 seconds after we scored the goal, and it was some noise. So can you imagine that with 53,000 in? It is.
Oh,
absolutely.
hurry up! We want it. We want the season to start now. But we've got, of course, as we said, all the pre-season to look forward to. Before that, the trip over to the States as well, and then we'll see so many of you here for Roma. We can't wait. Enjoy looking through the fixtures. We're going to have more of a look through it now with a cup of coffee, I think. So enjoy the rest of your day, Toffees. Thank you so much for joining us here. Not a bad day to work, is it? In this location, in this weather?
Fantastic.
So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Up the Toffees.